this video is all about what to do when your parents keep telling you what to do, or honestly, when other people keep telling you what to do, which is so annoying. So I'm going to share with you some tips on how to deal with that and how to make it a win-win situation for everybody when people keep trying to give you all of their advice. Oh, having your parents tell you what to do can be so annoying and so hard, and it can happen at any stage of your life, right? You think you might be free when you turn 18 or you don't live with your parents anymore, but people will tell you what to do all day long if you let them. So I'm going to share with you some tips on how to handle this kind of pressure and this kind of advice that people keep giving to you. First and foremost, my tip for you on what to do when people are telling you what to do is to evaluate the source. Now, this comes to the fact and kind of the common sense of, one, is this comment coming from your mother who's lived every second with you, who loves you more than life and honestly has your best interest at heart? Or is this source of giving you advice coming from, a peer, a neighbor, a friend who really doesn't know what goals you have in life, really doesn't even know the whole situation, and they are just, making general assumptions about you, your life, and what you want, which is so annoying. But even when, this advice is coming from your parents or somebody who might be really invested in your life, part of evaluating the source is knowing, do they know all the facts? Do they 100% see this from, a clearer point of view than I am? Because honestly, there's times in our life when we need to swallow our pride, when we need to take a step back and say, maybe this person who loves me more than life has a point, right? Or maybe I just don't want to hear this advice that they're giving, right? There's that, and then there's also the experience of people, and people do this all day long, not just your parents, everybody, people off the street will give you random advice, and you just have to know, hey, they don't know the facts, they don't know me, they don't know my goals, and so I'm not going to give their opinion 1 second of thought. So that is my first tip for you, is to evaluate the source, because that right there can root out, is this a matter of pride, or is this a matter of I'm caring way too much about what other people think? My second tip bleeds right into that first tip, which is to ask yourself this question. Does this person who's telling you what to do your parents, do they know what they are talking about? Now, your first gut reaction is no, they don't know my life, they don't know my situation, they don't know so-and-so, or they don't know my boyfriend, right? Well, this is where I'm asking you to take that step back and say, well, okay, they don't live my life, they don't go to my exact same classes, they don't, date the same person I'm dating, but oh yeah, they've had a boyfriend that did this to them too, or oh, they went to high school one time, right? They were cool one time. Your parents always tell you that. But honestly, take that step back and say, is this a shared experience? Is this a common experience? Because while yes, none of us, no one on this earth is 100% going to have the same experience, the same thoughts about that experience, and the same digestion and interpretation of that experience as you are. But breaking up with somebody, that's a really common shared experience where the details are different, but the outcomes and the experience is pretty much the same, right? Or, having disappointment, or having trouble with your friends, or, struggling to get along with your parents, and so you feel like they're always telling you what to do. These are common experiences, and so find the value in that and recognize, are there nuggets that I can take away from this? Because typically when your parents are telling you what to do, it's because they feel like you aren't meeting their expectation. And so you need to get really clear on where are they coming from on this? And is it because I'm not cleaning my room? Is it because I'm not doing this? Because when you can take that step back and evaluate it from a 10,000 foot level, you can start to pick out and say actually, my mom has a point on this. Something like that can help you out. And that is what this tip is all about. It's just asking yourself that 10,000 foot question of do they know what they're talking about, right? Okay, my third tip for you is one that just take it, just digest it, just let it sit with you for a little bit, okay? Ask yourself this. Do you really have a choice in the matter? And I'm not saying that you don't. I 100% believe that we always have a choice in the matter. But sometimes when your parents are giving you advice and you just feel suffocated and you feel what are my mom and dad even thinking? Sometimes we really don't have a choice in the matter. Or you should step back and look at your choices because, you know, maybe pushing against it's maybe not the best option, or you can fight about it all day long, but ultimately your parents are going to want to do what your parents want to do because you live in their house and you live by their rules, or maybe you use their money, right? Sometimes you don't have a lot of choice. And so that's where I would challenge you when you are feeling this way, like your parents just keep telling you what to do. Take a step back and have that maturity to say, okay, mom and dad really shell out the money for me. They provide a place for me to live. Like, is there any value in what they're trying to get me to do? Whether that's like, okay, you know, I need to like help with the chores around the house because I really don't have a choice in it. Like my mom can throw a fit, or I can do my chores, right? And then she can stop telling me what to do and I can do what I want to do. Sometimes we're picking fights that we really don't have a lot of say in, or truly the outcome doesn't matter. And so when it comes to having these arguments with your parents, or just feeling suffered or smothered, not suffered, smothered by your parents and them telling you what to do, maybe it's just a matter of changing your perspective on it and being like, I'm not going to have fights about things that I can't even change or situations that I can't even win. My last tip for you, tip number 4, is to find the win-win. So this is a tip from Stephen Covey that I absolutely love and live by. And it's this fact that I believe in every single situation, there's always a win-win, right? So if your parents are always telling you what to do and you've evaluated, like, do they have like value in what they're telling me? Do they really have experience and knowledge of what I'm going through to offer me this advice? Do I have a choice, right? So you've like looked at all your options. That's when you can step back and say, okay, my parents keep telling me that I shouldn't date this person. So maybe I could sit down and have a heart-to-heart with them, find out what they don't like about my boyfriend, and then I can make an educated decision. Or I could say like, hey, mom and dad, is it that I'm just spending too much time with my boyfriend and you want me to be at family dinner every night? Because I'll be at family dinner every night if you let me go on a date night with him every Friday. You know, like, find a win-win. Or if, you know, your parents are telling you what to do and like what to study, or, you know, what career you should go in, that could be like, okay, mom and dad, I will agree to study mathematics or science if you let me take theater, right? So you can find this win-win of like, I see the value in like exploring my education options, but I also want to do what I want to do, and can we meet in the middle? So if you get anything from this video, I hope you get this tip of finding a win-win, because truly your parents, if they're amazing human beings, which I know that they are, and they just want the best for you, then there is some value in their advice. But sometimes because of emotion, because of our thoughts about what they're saying, we get charged and we feel like it's so negative and they're just smothering us and they don't know about my life. But if you can take a step back and say, okay, my dad just really cares that I get straight A's. So dad, if I get straight A's, can I take the car out on Friday nights? Or can I do this? And I'll promise to do this. Find the win-win. So my friends, if you are feeling like people keep telling you what to do, I hope that you can use these 4 tips to help you out. Because truly, one, you know, you either need to like disregard their opinion, you need to evaluate like what options do you have, and then you can find a win-win solution so that you make the best educated decision. Because honestly, and I say this about like 90% of the time, people just honestly are trying to save you hurt, heartache, or pain, but they're just doing it in a way that like we don't love, or honestly we don't want their advice, right? So if you can take a step back, evaluate where you are, see their true intentions, I promise you that you can find the win-win. So I hope this video helps you out in helping you deal with that situation of your parents keep telling you what to do. So drop me a comment down below on maybe a situation that you're going through. I would love to coach you through it. So put that down below, and if you don't want it out there in the public, you can DM me on my Instagram, which is Abbi Winslow, or you can shoot me an email, which is abbijcontact@gmail.com. So I cannot wait to hear from you. Please also subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. So Abbi J out.